Hello again, VC. Back to show some more vinyl here. In the background I have Shackleton playing, one of my recent favorites. The track is called Test Tubes right now. Just a few here, some reissues, and one that I've been looking for a couple of years. That one is a Brian Jonestown Massacre album. I thought this was a great album. Of course, which is why I was looking for it. But when it came out, it was about $40, so I was just kind of waiting to find one for a bit lower than that. And I finally did. This is used. It has some ring wear on it and a little split up there. But the vinyl itself is in pretty good shape. Actually, there are a lot of clicks on this, but for the price, I got it for a little over $20, which is... I'd rather have this for $20 rather than a new one. But this album, they really went into a different direction with this album. I know Brian Jonestown Massacre likes to try a bunch of different styles with their music, but this one is probably their most electronic album, and this could almost be considered a dance album. There are several songs here with a definite groove. One of the tracks here sounds like a Joy Division cover even. It's called This Is the One Thing We Did Not Want to Have Happen. It sounds like it could be a Joy Division cover, even though it is a completely new song. It's not actually a cover, but I thought this album was kind of harshly criticized because it is a lot different for the band, but I like it a lot. It's actually probably one of my favorite albums from Brian Jonestown Massacre, and it ends with this really long 10-minute ambient track, which is really good. So again, that's when I was happy to find Who Killed Sergeant Pepper, it's called, from 2010, I believe. Then I got a few here from Sundazed. I know Big Star 1000 mentioned in one of his videos how he didn't like Sundazed much because they like to put their label on everything, but I don't care about that much. I mean, they do make really good reissues. They're good quality pressing, so I do like Sundazed. And so actually when he said that, the first thing I did was just go look up Sundazed and see what they had, see if they had anything new that I wanted. So this one isn't new for them. I think it's been out for a while, but this is my favorite Otis Redding album, called The Complete and Unbelievable Otis Redding Dictionary of Soul. I believe it's his last studio album before he died in a plane crash, I think in the late 60s sometimes, but he has a really great voice. Very, very soulful music here. I mean, it's called The Dictionary of Soul. It definitely is one of the most soulful albums I've heard. And that's one of my favorites from him, so I was glad to pick up that. Another one here, this is The Incredible String Band. The 5,000 Spirits of the Layers of the Onion. Yeah, that's what it says, yeah. A great 60s kind of somewhat psychedelic folky album. More on the strange side of folk. It's not straightforward. It's not like Bob Dylan, really. It has more of a strange kind of mood to it, but definitely a great album. Again, that's The Incredible String Band. And another one here, this one actually is a limited edition colored version. This is Phonography by R. Stevie Moore. R. Stevie Moore is one of the first independent home recording artists who kind of released his stuff on his own. It's definitely not your average kind of mainstream music, but it falls in the rock pop category. It definitely has a kind of rock sound, but it's very strange. I mean, he basically just recorded this on his own at his house, and I think it's really good. I like it. I do like some of R. Stevie Moore's later work a bit more than this album. I think this one is kind of not boring, but a little more raw than some of his later stuff. But he's been underground since he started. I mean, he's not very well known, but he has some great music. And if you like Ariel Pink could almost be considered a direct ripoff of R. Stevie Moore. This is where Ariel Pink came from, basically. And finally, this one just arrived today. This is a great album. In Praise of Learning by Henry Cow. Now this one is another reissue that I'm really happy to have. In Praise of Learning is their third album. I know several people have talked about this one, Derek and Big Star 1000. It definitely deserves all that praise that it's been given. It is pretty much a rock album, but much more improvisational than most rock and pretty much all rock, actually. I mean, this pretty much is a improvisational album, but it really connects with me a lot more than most improvisational music. It has something to it. I think the sounds they come up with on this album are really nice. They connect with me a lot more than most of the music of this type. So this is an excellent album, definitely. The first song, War, it's called. That's a really great song. It's just 2.5 minutes, but it's beautiful, and that's definitely one that I'm happy to have here. So yeah, that's it this time. Just wanted to show those 5. I notice I'm kind of like a reissue hound. I just buy these reissues because that's the easiest way to get a lot of these albums brand new. And I noticed there are a lot of new reissues coming out that I'm waiting for. I know Blur has some. The Talk Talk has an album being reissued. And let's see, there are some others. Codeine has some reissues coming out. So there's a lot of good albums coming out that I'm looking forward to. So maybe I'll show those a couple of videos later, but until then, adios.